Good morning, students. My name is M.S. Somashekar from Nilamika Girls High School, Serigere. Students, I will teach you a prose from the 8th standard English. The first unit, that is a day in the ashram. A day in the ashram is the prose written by one of the famous writers, C.F. Andrews. C.F. Andrews was born in 1871 and lived up to 1940. This great writer once visited India. During his stay in India, one day he went to see the ashram. The ashram is a school established by the Rabindranath Tagore, that is called as the Shantiniketan. Now it is known as the Vishwabharati Institute, an international institute. So on those days, it was established by the Rabindranath Tagore. You might have known about the Rabindranath Tagore. So yes, Rabindranath Tagore is a well-known poet, dramatist, and a writer from India, who got the first Nobel Prize for India in the year 1913 for his work Gitanjali. He is the first Nobel Award winner for India. So the great poet, the great writer has established this ashram. This ashram was once visited by our author C.F. Andrews. He wrote his experience throughout this story. He revealed his experience, his stay in the ashram, how it was different from the other schools. Everything he has written in this story. Let's learn this. First of all, let's have a look about our author C.F. Andrews. C.F. Andrews means Charles Ferrer Andrews. Charles Ferrer Andrews. Who was he? He was an English priest in the Church of England. He was a priest, and he was an educator, and also he was an Indian freedom fighter. So that I have done here. Who was C.F. Andrews? C.F. Andrews is the author of this prose. He was an English priest in the England church, and also an educator, and also Indian freedom fighter, and also one of the closest friend of Mahatma Gandhi. It is also associate. He worked with him for Indian freedom fighting. Andrews reveals in this prose, Sir Andrews reveals his experience while he stayed in the ashram. What is the ashram? The ashram is the school established by our Gurudeva. Who is our Gurudeva? Rabindranath Tagore. The school name Shantiniketan. Shantiniketan was founded by the Rabindranath Tagore. It is a school. It was not like other schools. It was entirely unique, entirely different from other schools of our country. Where in that school, students learn with great joy. The students of that school learned with great joy. So, throughout this prose, he revealed his experience. Let us have a look. What was the experience in that school? So, look at the first paragraph. Words cannot picture to you the beauty of Shantiniketan. Our old poet and teacher, whom we call Gurudeva, has named it in his song, the darling of our hearts. And it is worthy of the name. All who have visited the ashram, old and young, alike have felt its inner beauty growing more and more upon them. Stop it. In the beginning itself, the author Andrews says, words cannot picture to you the beauty of Shantiniketan. What is means? It means So the beauty of the Shantiniketan is so great, so beautiful that we cannot express in our words. Means there is no word to describe the beauty of the Shantiniketan. Such a wonderful device. Really, it is very, very wonderful, very beautiful. There is no word in our dictionary to describe the beauty of the Shantiniketan. That's why he told the words cannot picture to you the beauty of the Shantiniketan. Our own poet and teacher. Who is our own poet and teacher? Yes, Rabindranath Tagore. We call Gurudeva. What is the other name for Rabindranath Tagore? We call Gurudeva. Who was Gurudeva? Yes, our own poet Rabindranath Tagore is named as Gurudeva. He named it in his song. He wrote a song about this school. In this song, he gave a sentence about this school. The darling of our hearts. What is the description? So the description of the school, Shantiniketan, by Rabindranath Tagore was the darling of our hearts. It means it's a very loving, heart-touching experience of that school. He wrote the darling of our hearts. What is the darling of our hearts? The beauty of the Shantiniketan is termed as, the darling of our hearts by Rabindranath Tagore. And is worthy of the name. The name was not given in love. It is worthy. It is true. Because all who have visited the ashram, so many people from India, nook and corner of India, and also from the other countries have visited this ashram, they have also felt the same experience. They too told, yes, the name is worthy. Which name is worthy? The darling of our hearts is worthy to that school. Because really it is darling of our hearts. Because all who have visited, old and young, the same alike, have felt its inner beauty, not external beauty, not the physical infrastructure. So along with this infrastructure, the inner beauty of the Shantiniketan is so great that it is heart-touching. The inner beauty of the Shantiniketan growing more and more upon them, growing more and more upon them. I think, it is clear. It is in the first paragraph. The author used to say that once he visited the Shantiniketan, and he says that cannot be expressed, the beauty of the Shantiniketan cannot be right in the words. And our Gurudeva wrote in his song about the beauty that it was the darling of our hearts. It says it is a worthy. The name is very worthy because all who have visited this ashram felt the same. Just note the second paragraph. If I were to describe to you one day in the ashram with the voice, that would perhaps best bring home to you in its inner beauty. Long before sunrise, like the birds in our own almoki groves, our boys are awake. The Karishkas are the first to rise, and they go around the ashram singing their morning hymn. You cannot hear the voice, you can hear the voices in the distance, drawing nearer and nearer, and then the sound dies away as the fire passes on to the another part of the ashram. And then once and again it comes nearer and nearer. The beauty of the sound in that silent morning air and the sense of the joy and reverence which it belongs give peace to the soul. Okay. She says, if I were to describe, he wanted to describe the visit of Shantiniketan to the people, to the students of England, is to say, if I were to describe to you, who is the you refers? You refers to the British people. One day in the ashram with the boys, he stayed one day in the ashram with the boys or students, that was the best experience he got from India. That would perhaps best bring home. Home is Swadesha. Which was his home? England was his home. So, what was the best he brought from his home? That was his experience in the ashram. Especially the inner beauty of the ashram. Especially the inner beauty of the ashram was so beautiful. Long before sunrise, like the birds that own all loki trees, bruise, our boys are awake. What is the time? By what time does students in the ashram get up? Every day, long before the sunrise. Usually sun will rise by 5:45, 6, so something like this. But long before the sunrise, the students of the ashram goes to rise. Long before sunrise. So, and they were compared to the birds. Which birds? Like birds in our own amloki bruise. Amloki bruise is just like a mango bruise. Just like a tree is like a mango bruise. So in the mango bruise, the birds will awake and fly before the sunrise. The same way as like the birds in the amloki bruise, the students or boys in the ashram used to rise early in the morning. The choristers are the first to rise. Who are the first to rise in the ashram? Choristers. What do you mean by choristers? Members who sing in the church. The members who sing in the church are choristers. The same way, in the ashram there are a group of singers for whom he called as the choristers. The choristers are the first to rise. First to rise. And they go around the ashram. So as soon as they get up, they go around the ashram, singing their morning hymn. What is the hymn? Hymn means a prayer song, a song of praise to God. We have so many songs in the praise of the God, so many gods. So that hymns they used to sing in the early morning. It is just like a alarm. The morning hymn, a chorister's morning hymn is just like a alarm to the rest of the students to get up from their bed. It was an alarm. It was like a siren. So by hearing this hymn of the choristers, the remaining students should get ready from their bed, get up from their bed. Go around the ashram singing the morning hymn. You can hear the voices in a distance. When they are coming from away, you can hear their voices. The voices of choristers in a distance. It was little. So when they come nearer and nearer, you can hear louder voices. So after some time, they will go for the other area of the ashram. Then the sound dies away. Like this, initially the voice was very low. When they come nearer to us, it is very loud. When it goes away from our part of the ashram, it will once again the voices go down. Like this, you can hear the voices of the choristers in a distance drawing nearer and nearer. The voices brought you nearer and nearer, and then sound dies away as the chorister passes to the other part of the ashram. And then again choristers come nearer and nearer. The beauty of the sound. So while you listening to the music, listening to the song, hymns of the choristers, the sound in the silent morning air, that song's sound in the morning air, and the sense of joy and reverence. By hearing it, you can feel, you have a sense of joy. By hearing it, you can get joy, party, you get great, happy hearing to that songs of God and reverence, with respect, which it brings. That song's beauty give us peace to our soul. Peace, which peace? P-I-E-C-E, P-E-C, P-E-C, therefore peace. They are called homophones. Homophones means the two words having a same sound but different pronunciation and also spelling. P-I-E-C-E. Piece means this is a piece of paper. This is a piece of chalk. Means tundu. So one more piece. P-E-A-C-E. Piece means manashanti. Shanti. So what peace it brings by hearing the sound of the songs, hearing the sound of the songs of the chorister, which brings peace, P-E-A-C-E, peace to our soul. It is also, there are two souls, S-O-L-E soul, S-O-U-L soul. S-O-L-E soul means there is a kind of material used under our slipper and shoes. That's called soul. S-O-L soul means Atma. So which gives joy to our soul, peace and peace to our soul. What gives peace to our soul? The song's beauty in the morning air gives respect, joy, and also peace to our soul. Such a wonderful morning they have, the students of the Shantiketa. After an interval, after this, there is an interval to get ready for themselves. Each boy takes his asana. He is a square of carpet into the fields and sit down on it to meditate in his own place alone. Later on, before the school work begins, the boys all stand together in the shade of the trees and sing their hymn. Till about 10:30, the work of the school goes on. We have no classrooms. The boys sit in with their teachers. In open air, under the trees, there was no larger classes. A group of 8 or 10 boys are seated round the teachers asking questions. A few books are used. A greater part is carried on through conversation. The boys soon learn to open out all the difficulties to their teachers. And the teachers get keenly interested in the boys' questions and answers. Such living education can never be dull. Such living education can never be dull. Yes, after hearing the chorister song, all the boys who are sleeping will get ready because it was just like a siren. They will get up and get fresh themselves and then go. After some interval, each and every boy takes his asana. They take an asana. What is asana? He is a square of carpet. They will get a square of carpet with them into the fields. Where will they take? They will come out of the ashram. They will go into the open fields and they will put their square of carpet on which they will sit to meditate. So while they will go into open field with a carpet, a square of carpet, to sit on it and meditate. Why should we meditate? So meditation gives peace to our soul and mind, and also which strengthen our mind. So we'll get more and more strength to our mind by meditation. Meditation gives a great power to our mind. That's why we have to meditate. In this school students, every day, morning and evening used to meditate. So in the early morning, as soon as they get up, they get fresh, they will go to open fields for meditation. This whole place of each and every boy sit differently, separately, alone to meditate without any disturbances. Later on, after meditation, before school work begins, before the school work, the boys all stand together. All the boys stand together in the shade of the trees. The shade of the trees. There are so many trees over there. Under the trees, there was the shade. They sit, they stand under that. Sing their hymn. Sing their hymn is prayer. As do we pray in the morning, the Janagadamana, our rational anthem, which is also written by our great poet Rabindranath Tagore. The same way, so after taking the meditation, all the boys of Shantiniketan stands under a tree. Under a tree for their hind, morning hind. Like this. After the school begins. Till about 10:30, the work of the school goes on. From the beginning, morning, before sunrise, till 10:30, the school goes on. The school continues from meditation. They get up early in the morning, hearing the song, hymn of the choristers, get ready themselves, go into the open fields, meditate for some time, and they will assemble under the trees for a prayer. Then the school work starts till 10:30. We have no classrooms. The difference between our schools and this school is there are no classrooms. Most of the schools have a classroom like this. Teachers will be there, blackboard will be there, the benches will be there, we will sit on the benches in a closed atmosphere with the teacher, a blackboard. But that school is different. That school is unique from the other schools because there is no classroom at all. Then how the teachers teach them? See, the boys sit with their teacher in the open air. So where do the boys sit? The boys sit in the open air, not in the class, in the outside. In the nature, in the midst of the nature, they will sit around the teacher. The teacher sits on a chair, around him, the sub students will sit. That itself is a classroom. Itself is a classroom under the trees. Under the trees, a teacher will be there. Around the teacher, some students will be sitting. There are no larger classes. So, what about our classes? So, each section we have a 40 to 50 students. But there is no larger classrooms. The classrooms limit. The group of 8 or 10 boys are seated around the teacher. How many boys are there in a classroom? In the Shantiniketan, there are no classrooms. The class held under a tree in the open air. Only 8 to 10 students are there in a classroom with a teacher. So how the class goes on? Does the teacher goes on teaching? No. Here the class also different. Asking him questions. The students goes on asking him questions about their doubts. Very few books are used. Not many books are used. Only few books are used in learning process. A greater part is carried. How is the teacher students? Most of the teaching is carried through conversation. A conversation between a student and a teacher. So the two students ask the questions and teacher listen to their questions and answer them. Sometimes the teacher asks the questions and student will answer the teacher. Like this, with the conversation between the teacher and the students, the class goes on. The boys will learn to open out all the difficulties. So very soon, very quickly, the teacher get the students open difficulties. Open out all the difficulties. They open out all the difficulties. Whatever the doubts come to their mind, directly they will ask the teachers in this group. And the teachers, what the teachers do? Get keenly interested. They get very interested in the boys' questions. So whenever the boys ask question, very interestingly he listens to you. And very wisely answers questions in a proper way. And answers, questions and answers. Such education. If education went on through conversation between a teacher and a students, if your students raise their doubts and teacher took interest in their questions and answers questions promptly, this is a living education. So, the author C.F. Andrews says such education, living education, can never be dull. This is a really living education. There are no classrooms, there are no textbooks, there is no blackboard. Most of the class went on through conversation between the teacher and the students. Sometimes teacher asks the questions, sometimes students ask the questions. Like conversation between the teacher and the students goes on continuously. Like this, the classrooms held under a tree with the conversation. So the author says, such education he never witnessed anywhere. That was the only school. That was the Shankar was the only school he has witnessed. That's why in the beginning he told that was the experience, best experience he brought home from India was his visit to Shankar. That's because such living education he never seen anywhere, and also said this living education never be dull, can never be dull. It is no possible to become dull because education was like this. Each and every boy will participate in it. They will clarify their doubts themselves with the teachers. So they also learn in the middle of the teacher. So such living education can never be dull. Okay. I think I want to conclude today's class. So before that, I will ask you some questions. Please answer, give your answer promptly and write the answer for these questions in your notebook. I will ask some comprehension questions. Who is called Gurudeva? Who is called Gurudeva? As our own poet Rabindranath Tagore is known as the Gurudeva. How did he turn the beauty of the Shantiniketan in his song? We will answer as he turned his song, the beauty of the Shantiniketan, as the darling of our hearts. Yes. Who visited this ashram one day? Yes. Or rather, C.F. Andrews visited this ashram one day. Who named the school Shantiniketan? Yes. Rabindranath Tagore named the school Shantiniketan. When does the day in the Shantiniketan begin? When does the day in the Shantiniketan begin? Early in the morning, before the sunrise, the day beginning in Shantiniketan. What is termed by Gurudeva as the darling of our hearts? What is termed by Gurudeva as the darling of our hearts? Yes. Will answer? Yes. The beauty of the Shantiniketan. The beauty of the Shantiniketan is served as the darling of our hearts. Which phrase used character means both old and young people. There is a phrase here, old and young alike. Old and young alike is a phrase used here. The boys in the Shantiniketan get up early in the morning. We are known. Who else are the early risers? So along with the boys of the Shantiniketan, who are the early risers? The early risers are the choristers. The choristers are the first risers of the Shantiniketan. They go around the ashram singing their morning hymns. After listening to their hymns, the students will get up. Along with this, the teachers also get up. And so, choristers are the early risers in the Shantiniketan. Thank you. I hope you better understood this lesson. So go through the textbook, read it repeatedly, then try to answer the questions promptly. So if you have any doubts, any new words, go to your dictionary and find the meaning of the words, try to comprehend the lesson, then write the answers of your own. Thank you for the today's class.